Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of commodities, work our way through the dollar yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. I'm going to give you my financial opinions as we go. And if you need any help with anything, check out finding-value.com. That's where we talk about individual companies, all these different sectors. You can see what I'm doing in the markets and what I'm accumulating as we go. We do have a 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time Sunday question and answer session coming on up. And let's dive into what's going on today to give you my opinions. So we are still little update today, but this still looks good to head lower as this is a inverted, I call it an inverted bloody nose. So little up movements, not much of a bounce. Some people call it a dead cat bounce. There's all these different names that people call it, but generally speaking, when you have a large selling pressure day with a weak bounce next to it, the tendency is for this to fall to the downside. So lower yields, lower dollar, they all kind of are interchangeable, and that's going to provide a tailwind behind precious metals. So if we look at the 2-year yields, you can see that we were down today. Now, are we going to move lower here, or are we going to get a bounce to the upside with some support? I tend to believe that a bounce could definitely occur to the upside, but I tend to believe on the longer term we're going to head lower because we've broken out of this channel to the downside. We've done our back test, and that generally will weigh on the yields to head lower. Or conversely, people are buying 2-year bonds. The 10-year also heading lower. You can see that we are kind of towards the bottom here, not much support. So again, I think we're going to head lower in the short term for yields. This kind of looks like a shoulder head shoulder developing of some sort, and we could blow that to the downside in the short term. The 10-year yield also heading a little bit lower today, down 1.5%. And to me, it looks like we were heading towards this 4.4% yield mark where we've got support. Another one where you could say, maybe we've got some sort of shoulder head shoulder topping pattern, maybe. TYX TNX ratio up a little bit today, up 0.5%. If we start to see this really take off to the upside, that means that it's in the wheelhouse for precious metals to go up. That's what we've seen historically, especially gold. So we're at a very low level. If we see this start to move to the upside, I would be looking at precious metals, or I should say I've already looked and already know and have already accumulated a buttload of metals for this move up. Bond prices are getting the bounce. That's what we're seeing from lower yields. We're getting that bounce upward in bond prices. Now, the question that everyone should have is, well, how sustaining is this move? I would look towards this white line that I've got in there at $94-ish. We're at 89.66 or so right now, 89.62. And that's where I think we could get some heavy resistance. And then the US 2-year, 10-year yield actually inverted further today because the long end of the curve went down more than the short end of the curve. So the 10-year here went down more than the 2-year here. The size of those downward arrows is the size that they went down. So the yield curve is still inverted. Gold likes this. It likes the lowering of interest rates. It likes a weaker dollar. And gold was up about $20 an ounce. And that's looking good. That's looking good. Every time we get to the $2,000 level up here, we're getting slammed. Some people think it's manipulation. I don't know. But that's where the big time resistance is, 2,000 buckaroos. Silver ripping it. Silver's looking pretty good, up 1.24%. I think that a critical level is around the $25 area. We want to close above $25. Then we got platinum also right up against resistance. It was down 0.21%, but we're right up on resistance, and we'll see if we can punch through if gold and silver also punch through. And then palladium's up a little bit. It does look like we could get a little bit of a downdraft to the downside here in the short term, both for platinum and palladium. As you can see, the opening and closing prices are contracting as we go up. So it wants to head lower in both of these in the short term. So we might get some trampoline jumps is what I call them in the short term. XEU to gold ratio up 0.5%. Gold and silver mining companies in relationship to gold, both going higher today. But we still need that big downtrend line that needs to be broken. We want to break that big downtrend line. CRB index down. Oil is definitely down today, and that does look like we could continue lower with very strong selling pressure in oil. So we could see a little bit of a move to the downside potentially. And we'll take a look at oil and see what that looks like first. CRB to S&P 500 is heading lower. Definitely that looks like we're heading lower. Maybe this is an A, B, C correction before we head on up. Very possible in the short term that we get to slow down and what people are talking about. We could also bottom here and be a double bottom. That is also another possibility. We've got GDX up 1.5%, still below heavy resistance. We've got GDXJ also below some heavy resistance through here. There's resistance all through here that we're basically at. Then we've got SILJ up 2%, but we've got resistance above us and resistance going across in this general location there. Crude oil down 4.66%. Looks like to me that we are probably going to get close to being done here. I wish we threw a little bit larger tail on that red candlestick here, but usually you fall, you come up, you get another flag pattern, you fall, and then we flag out. We're probably going to bottom somewhere in the general location of where we're at for oil. TTF, nat gas, down a little bit, but not really. It's down 2.7%, but that's pretty minute for nat gas. It's pretty volatile, but we're above support, and we're just kind of moving sideways here, consolidating. Nat gas down 4%, still above solid support, right underneath it at about $3. We're at 3.06. We've got support underneath us. We've got XOP down less than oil itself, which makes me think that people could be accumulating some of these oil and gas exploration companies. We've got a big wick at the bottom. That generally means that people are accumulating. We'll get a bounce off the bottom here. So what that looks like is you get a strong selling pressure move. You get kind of a double bottom. And then we start to come back up. So the momentum's to the upside. That's what that wick is at the bottom of that candlestick. So this wick here is a bounce off support. The momentum's heading higher, and we'll see what the next trading session has in store for us for XOP. OIH also getting a bounce. Is it strong enough to stay within the pattern? We'll find out tomorrow. But we do have some strong selling pressure moves all through here, indicating that there's some sellers willing to part ways with their energy service holdings. So again, we're right on support. We'll see if it holds. Sprott Physical Uranium Trust popping higher. I like it. We had the two little bloody nose candlesticks that generally works its way on up. There's your big green candlestick today above resistance. So we popped up against resistance. We popped above resistance, used it as support, and now we're hopefully heading on higher for Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. URA also right underneath resistance. I like the strength that we saw today. We had a big selling day, bearish engulfing yesterday, and we got strength. It gapped down a little bit, opened, came on up, and that could be considered a bullish piercing pattern. So basically you hit your head, you get the bearish engulfing pattern, it goes sideways, gathered itself, and came right back against that resistance line. So we'll see if we can break over the next few trading sessions and or weeks, however long it takes. URNM doing the same thing right underneath it, trying to break through it. I like today's trading behavior. It just popped right back up. Same with URNJ. We gapped lower and popped right back up. The buying pressure is strong. I think we could see a big move if we can break above, this general location up there for a lot of these, that resistance line that we've got. TAN down a little bit, still below resistance. Going to have to bust on through it. We've got COPX down also right underneath resistance. And I think COPX, a lot of the diversified mining companies, they look good. So I think COPX could easily rip it here if copper can get its act um, together. Lithium down quite big, actually, down 3.65%. Looks like we're getting resistance right at that resistance trend line. It could get rejected back below it like it is. Same with REMX getting rejected back below it. It said, no, 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 no. You got to go back. And we'll see if this is acting as support, because if we get support, we'll get a bounce. If there's no support, we're going to get strong selling pressure again, which we're going to be breaking below that horizontal support level. S&P 500 doesn't look too bad. It still looks good to continue higher there. It's a bullish engulfing. And the NASDAQ hanging in there, still looking good for the potential to go on up on the longer term basis. KRE down 1.26%, but again, guys, that all looks good to me, and it looks like we're ready to go up. Continue higher in KRE. Emerging markets right on support. That's what I'm seeing there, and still looks good. XHB slightly lower, but that's just a bloody nose. It's the continuation pattern. You could say it's a flag pattern, whatever you want to say it is. Maybe it creates some pattern like that. It's all continuation patterns to the upside. So XHB, home builders, look excellent to continue higher. We've got MOO down 1%, but again, it still looks good. Still looks fine. Looks like it's trying to put in a base, what it's trying to do. Copper down 0.67%. It's not a topping pattern necessarily, but it's not that strong either. Man, this is really difficult reading here, and we're just going back and forth between buyers and sellers trading off, punching each other in the face, trying to see which direction they want to go. I don't see a clear winner yet. I see instances of very good strength, bullish engulfing there, and I'm just kind of looking bearish engulfing there. And then that's all I see there. And we've got resistance kind of coming through here. So we'll see if we can punch through. Some people maybe say it's a shoulder, head, shoulder that we've got going on. We'll see if that's the case. But again, let's just wait and see. Iron ore continuing its relentless move to the upside. I think we're going to see a big move in iron ore over their whatever length of period, however long it takes. We've got aluminum down 0.5%, still in between resistance and support. Baltic Dry Index higher 1.5%. I think this looks good to continue higher or sideways. I don't think we're going to go. Well, I mean, it could go lower. We're right underneath resistance. We'll see if we pop back down or if we move on up. I know that doesn't give a lot of information, but we're right at resistance, and that's generally you get a deciding factor. We did enter this from the top side down. That's why I paused. I was like, wait a minute. That is a pretty strong selling candlestick here, and then we're up against resistance. So this could actually roll over in the short term. Newcastle coal futures down 1%, but again, I like it in this general location. I think it's basing out, much like natural gas is above a base. Bitcoin getting ripped. What the heck's going on here? Nice strong selling pressure right next to a massive up candlestick. The heck is going on there? And same with Ethereum. Strong selling pressure right on top of support with a bullish candlestick yesterday. That's kind of weird to see that on both of these. That's kind of weird to see Bitcoin and Ethereum down like that. And again, I'm going to need more trading days to see exactly how this will play out over the next few days. But overall, guys, I still think we're going higher as the momentum's to the upside on both of those. And we're above support. But that's what I've got for today, guys. Thumb up for the content, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the website. Use the word discount in the coupon code if you'd like. And overall, guys, rough day for oil, but I think it's going to try to bottom here at some point. That's the way that it looks like to me. I like the behaviors in XOP and OIH. I like how they got at least a little bounce. We'll see if there's any follow through tomorrow. Uranium's looking really good. We're right underneath resistance. We'll see if we can pop through that resistance tomorrow. Hopefully, fingers crossed, guys. And then all the other sectors, I think gold looks really good. Silver looks really good. We might get a little bit of weakness in platinum, palladium. It looks like they're kind of rolling over in the short term. And iron ore is looking fantastic. That would be one I would be looking at right now. So I'd say, of any of the if any of the sectors, uranium, iron ore, those look really good. And I think gold could be a big winner depending on where yields go. So that's what I've got for today. We'll catch you guys later. This is Finding Value.